Hello and welcome back to the Nerdattude movie. Wait,
No, wait, that's not this week.
something's not right.
We're in the wrong building, man.
Oh fuck, I gotta change the
One
shit
second. And that's better. Here we are. We're trying something a little bit new. If you have watched any of the Band of Brothers episodes, you're slightly familiar with the format. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be watching Starship Troopers together, talking about it, discussing things, making fun of it potentially. You'll be seeing clips up there above us that we're talking about. Pretty standard affair. It is a nice theater we're in, though, no?
Top of the line.
Actually, it's a little rundown. The Davis was only slightly worse. When you get on
It
the
looks like my
inside.
living room, which is really weird.
You have a lot of gold in your living room. All right, so just in case you guys don't know what a watch react is, we're going to be watching the movie together and talking about it, and you'll hear lots of things like, well, 2474. That actually doesn't make any sense. 2444. Those will be timelines.
I'm gonna say 2474.
You know what, man? I'm just on
25 something?
I'm just on a different plane of existence. Okay.
There's 80 seconds in a minute.
Where I come from? Yes. I come from Belgium. I don't know why I singled them out. Are you doing your part? So we're going to be watching this movie and just talking about it. And it's one of my favorite movies. I love this movie. I love most of what Paul Verhoeven has done in his career, which is another Paul Verhoeven. Great. So,
what's his name?
Paul Verhoeven. Verhoeven. You have
Just
to.
want to say it again.
We established that in the Hollow Man review. Okay, you have to say it that way. Or maybe we might have even done it in the RoboCop review.
Yeah, I think that's where it started.
Bitches leave. My favorite part of that movie. I swear to God. All right, you guys ready?
Did we want to discuss with
Yo.
you real quick about who's in this, or are we just going to go into it?
All right, we could. I mean, there's not a whole lot of relevancy in this movie anymore. You've got Denise Richards, Casper Van Dien, which I think he's a ghost now.
He's actually got productions coming up now. Still,
What are they?
we've got Salvage Marines. That's a TV show. The Most Dangerous Game. Daughter. He plays father. Okay, that's weird.
Oh, yeah. These are some great credits we're coming up. Like, good for you, Casper.
Daughter, he plays father.
He plays father.
Monsters of California, which is in production. County Line, No Fear, it's in production. Another there's two TV shows in production.
Why isn't he
So,
just
yeah.
gonna? Why he really should just go do Hallmark movies? Like
I
if
agree.
he's still handsome, right? Do the middle-aged romantic like fucking Christmas movies. Am I wrong? Like,
Yeah. Wait, I'm sure he already did those.
go see if Left Behind 4 needs
he
somebody.
doesn't look the part anymore.
He doesn't?
I don't think so.
Is he ugly now?
Well, he's older.
What's older? How old is Casper Van Dien?
Jesus Christ, I forgot some of these actors were in here.
Born in 68.
Oh. Okay.
Yep. So he's about what 8 years older than me.
He's like what, 52, 53?
52, 53. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
But
still-
he's got 11 projects, and so he's still working.
Yeah, I mean, so are Hoovers, but you know.
Is that one of the Golden Girls in here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
True,
it's
yeah.
Blanche.
yeah.
That's Blanche.
I think she
Holy
plays the
shit.
mother of him. If I'm not.
She's actually a teacher.
The
Oh,
biology
okay.
teacher.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I got that. All right. Denise Richards, Neil Patrick Harris are the most known. Michael Ironside, Blanche.
Seth Gilliam. He's also in The Walking Dead. He's the preacher.
Oh, okay. You've also got Jake Busey.
Yep.
Isn't Clancy Brown in Walking Dead or no? Am I mixing him up with somebody else?
I think he was. But Clancy Brown is also Mr. Crab, and he's in this.
Oh.
So that's kind. I always tell people that, and for a long time nobody knew. I always got the like, oh wow, and then like eventually people were like, yeah, I know, it's common knowledge now. It's not a factoid, which hurt my feelings. You guys ready to get into this?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Be
Let's
right
go.
back. All right, hold on. You guys all good? All set?
Yep, I'm at 20. Yep.
All right, so go. Well, I lost seconds somehow. What is going on in my life?
My shit turned off, so I had to start
hold
over.
on.
Yeah.
Ah,
All right, I have made it to. I am at 35 seconds, and it is the TriStar
Okay, hold
logo
on.
still.
okay. So, first bit of conversation. I'll just start it off. 26 seconds.
Wow, we've made it so far.
The titles in these movies were not, they were like an afterthought. You see title reveals now in movies. It's just like black on white screen, Starship Troopers.
Yeah, well, you
Pretty
know,
clean lettering.
I think another part of it is like, wasn't that the whole idea of like industrialized military complex? Was the
Oh,
concept?
okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
You know, the
Okay.
idea. You know, the idea of like, it's all supposed to be efficiency and to fight the bugs, and that's why that's one of the things involved in the like, are you doing your part? Like it's supposed
Yeah.
it's supposed to kind of be that way, but still, I agree. Now they do have this movie in 4K. I am not watching it in 4K. I think
No, I'm definitely not.
Netflix only has it in. I think on my iTunes I have it in 4K. But this is probably gonna make me. I don't know if Jen likes this movie. She hates Dark City, so fucking goon.
So my wife is not, she doesn't like these type of movies, but this movie she does remember and she does enjoy.
Well, that's because like while the violence is gratuitous, it's not like throughout the entire movie. Like the very beginning, as we'll see here in a second, is violent, and then it's like talky, then like whoa, violent, and then talk. You know what I mean? Like, and then you get to the end with the brain fucking. But we'll get there. I love this movie. I can't wait. Let's dig in. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so it is funny from like the beginning where it's like young people are doing their part, and then it's teenagers, and it's like I'm doing, and it's just a fucking kid in
I
armor.
know, out of nowhere.
Yeah, the
That's why I
little
started
like
laughing.
7-year-old kid.
Like what the fuck? Like what is? So just little factoid here. These are based off of novels, and Paul Verhoeven thought that the novels glorified communism too much, and he refused to do certain things that were in the novels. And changed certain things. I don't know what exactly, but I know there's lots of hate towards his treatment of Starship Troopers, the property, because things were changed. I was talking to guys in the Arma 3 group who haven't read them either, but I guess it's a big deal. Who takes shit that seriously?
Well, I kind of understand not where people are coming from with the whole change, but I understand the concept
I'm
of
sorry.
the military thing.
It wasn't communism, it was fascism, which makes sense when you see
Yes.
with a lot of the subject matter. Maybe there's certain things in the book where they show scenes of like more totalitarian towards the citizens. I don't know. Whatever the case may be.
Yeah, because wasn't one of the
Worker
lines right here?
camps.
Wasn't one of the lines right here saying you could become a citizen if you enlist?
And I'm
Yeah.
glad you mentioned that. And it's funny because I used to, growing up, I was in ROTC, and we used to go through like recruitment camp and stuff like that. It's kind of scary how like the recruitment in military to certain ages is a little bit predatory. And the whole like throwing out all the stuff you can get, would you like to become a citizen? Showing little Timmy, it's a little disturbing when you watch it.
Well, later on, the one
Doing
woman
my
talks
part.
about she joined up to become a citizen to be able to get a license to bear children. So there is a lot of those things in there that shows you how fascist it is. But I'm going to assume there was things probably on the end of where they show like, because you have to presume not everything is rainbows, right? If it is a fascist regime, then you have worker camps and you have major homelessness and poverty in a lot of areas. So like, those are probably the things that he didn't want to put in the movie. Which would those made this a better movie? Might have made
I
it
don't
slightly
know.
more well-rounded, but then it wouldn't be the campy action movie it is, the sci-fi action flick that it is, you know?
I also feel like it would throw off the comedy bits a bit. They wouldn't be as
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. If you went to worker camps and depression, and then it's like, are you doing?
theme-
Although that might be funny.
The theme of the movie would have changed differently. It would have been like a drama action versus.
Yeah, if you had those scenes in there, and then it would have, you would have noticed the bad acting so much more too. Like it wouldn't be a campy movie. It would be kind of a bad movie because it's trying to be more serious than what it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And this came out when? Before
97, I think.
Yeah, 97.
Was that before RoboCop? Yeah, because Robo was in the
No,
80s.
RoboCop was 80s. Yeah.
RoboCop was 80s. That was after.
So I like that he went that way because it's still stuck with the formula that people are familiar with.
Well, see, that's the
That-
thing
that
is you
knows this
see
shit.
this and it's like, oh man, he really captured like a one global news source look. He really did that in RoboCop with the local news.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And he's I was about to say Van Hoven is the only one I know who did it well. Like I don't know, I've seen other movies try and do this, and they don't do it very well.
Well, I think his news clips during RoboCop are iconic. Like that, the way he did it is just kind of like, this is so random.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's jump back in. I think we're all synced up. Let's hope so. Here we go.
We breaknet now and take you live to Klendathu, where the invasion has begun.
DXQ uplink on 2, 1, you're on. We've just landed here on what Starship Troopers are calling Big K with a 6th Mobile Infantry Division. It's an ugly planet, a bug planet, a planet hostile to life.
I was about to pause right there too. I'm
a little past that.
How
Okay.
in the immediate setup, they go in like serve your country, do your thing, get these benefits, and immediate to the live feed, they just get fucked.
Well-
Not only that, the news guy is getting fucking hit from you. He's like, and you just keep getting
So they don't give two shits about him.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I do kind of love and hate, and also this font, this whole basic thing. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this. They could have done something with it to make it look more like the fonts you get from the propaganda.
Yeah,
Because it doesn't even look like that. These are just like, nah, choose fucking. I don't give a shit.
Even
Italica.
something like exploding like letters, like that brings attention to like this is important.
Yeah, it's almost like these were put in an afterthought, like, which this couldn't have been. I mean, it has to have been pre-planned because it fucking goes back a year.
Or they spent all their money on the CG and they didn't have enough for the fonts.
Entirely possible. You're right. Who knows? Yeah, and I'll try to show you as much as I think I can show you everything except for the end with the leg. I might have to blur that out. But one of the things I don't think I've ever noticed is the up close personal where you see that the cameraman clearly has a flashlight. Like there's a light on the end of the camera. I don't think I've ever noticed the fact that it's like shining in, like, so you're a soldier trying to shoot these fucking giant bugs, and this guy has a blinding light in your face, like right up in your face.
aims it right at him. Yeah.
Not only that, Rico starts screaming. He's going, "Go, go!" He sounds like such a little kid screaming.
Well,
Like
we'll talk when we get to that point later on. We'll talk about his
his voice.
well, the end of the movie when he's like, "Do you want to live forever?"
Yeah.
Like, when you grow up, kid, you'll be able to talk like a man.
I do love how this is one of those movies where they can explain everything without question. Where he's like, an unlimited supply of meteors, unlimited.
Yeah,
Like, so you know what we're up against, and
Well,
then the movie just takes off from
it's
there.
like Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory.
So
Yeah.
I found out in the books, because the movie just, it throws you in and then it recaps these people, the like Rico's live and kind of leading up to it, but it doesn't recap. I don't think, and I'm gonna listen clearly for probably maybe it is in there, but apparently the books, the whole thing was humans had traveled into the bugs area. They weren't military, they were just like explorers.
Yeah.
And that set off the war, which caused the bugs to basically start whipping meteors at the Earth. I'm going to listen to see if they say anything about that in this, because I don't remember that ever being given as a reason. Like, I just remember it starting with this, and then the big reason was they, like, hurled the first meteor and destroyed Clendathu, I think it was is it their home planet? No, that's the bugs.
That's the bug planet.
I don't
That's the
remember
bug-
what
yeah, that's the
Rico's...
planet
But
they wanted to-
we'll find out ahead. I forgot what their home planet is. But that
'Cause he
planet
does
gets
mention it.
destroyed. Yeah. Well, they're on live comms when with his parent. We'll get to that point. This isn't the podcast, damn it.
Rico. Rico. Rico! Pay attention.
Sorry, Mr. Ratchak.
Let's sum up. This year we explored the failure of democracy, how the social scientists brought our world to the brink of chaos.
Microphones, gentlemen.
All right, 523. I'm right behind you.
All right.
Yeah, five. Yeah.
Yeah, with that, the few seconds in between is just a camera pan up.
Yes, 2 seconds.
A couple things to unpack there. First off, you have Michael Ironside, Mr. I like to just think of him as Richter, who survived. So he's just missing the one arm.
He's nubbing. He's
Nubbing it. He's the teacher, and he's trying to teach them civic virtue. Essentially, what is the difference between somebody who's a citizen and he asked Casper Van Dien, Rico, and he gives him the textbook answer, and he's trying to emphasize, but do you know what that means?
Yeah, you could be smart and you could be book smart, but if you don't understand what you're fucking reading, you're kind of a dumb animal.
Yeah, and also his response to what's her face, curly hair, when she gets kind of snippy, and he's like, I wonder what the architects of Hiroshima would say about that. And it's like when she says violence doesn't solve anything. And in that scene, I kind of wanted him in his Sam Fisher voice to just be like, well, your mom's a dumb bitch. Because he says, my mom says violence doesn't solve anything. Like, or like Waterboy, well, mama's wrong again.
Yeah.
That's just Colonel Sanders.
Also, Denise Richards right there, her character, she's kind of like, it seemed like she was kind of turned on by his stub when he touched her. She made that face like,
I would have been like, oh, fuck. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, I would have been kind of creeped out. Like, can you get that thumb away from me?
Oh,
He likes to touch a lot of people with stuff.
Sorry, I don't mean any disrespect, but it just was moving so fast in my direction.
It kind of looked like this, like he touched her with his thumb.
I just
I
like
also find
the
it-
gall, like, man.
I also find it pretty awesome, and I don't know if they do it later on in the movie, but they don't refer to. I think the military are citizens, or civilians, or citizens, and then
Citizens.
the civilians
Yeah.
are civilians.
Yeah,
Which is cool. They don't refer to it as like military.
well, I think the only way you can get citizenship is to serve.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when we get later on, the whole thing is, I think how you heard overhead, the all seniors must fill out a 1710 form.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to assume that's the form for like the draft or something. And like, remember Rico coming up, his whole thing is like, do I want to go college? I'm going to assume civilians are bankers and businessmen, and maybe you can get citizenship through that, but you're a civilian. There's maybe different licensing for civilians. Citizens are fast track, shit like that.
Could it also be like if somebody in your family had served, they have offspring that they're the civilians.
Yeah, maybe.
It's never really, it's never really.
So
clear.
they don't go too deeply into the movie.
military-based society, very heavily
Yeah,
military.
Where in this case, most of your prominent people would at some point have had served.
Right.
You know,
or somebody in their family members.
unless you're a rich civilian, like you don't need to be a citizen or more than likely you'll be able to buy citizenship in this level of bureaucratic corruption, things like that. So it's different, and you can kind of talk about being fascism and communism a little bit, because Michael Ironside as a teacher is essentially saying it's better to be a citizen, but in order to be a citizen, you got to put your country before yourself, essentially.
Also, one more thing. They're so advanced in technology that they're using paint. That's how he's drawing.
Yeah, it's literally a video that he must have probably sat there and practiced on several times to make sure, like, the shapes, so it didn't look stupid. He's literally just like it's like a stylus that wasn't. It was just a nub on a fucking tube monitor at that point. Technology. All right, let's jump back in.
Good job.
Your turn. Hold on. I want to talk to Marco. His sister's at Fleet. Marco!
Hi, Carmen.
What's your about Roxy?
You made pilot.
35%. Very nice. Look at that.
All right, just a real quick thought. I'm at, was it 6:28?
6:12. He's just about to talk to.
Okay, so go ahead and actually watch that, because that's what I want to talk about.
Okay.
After he talks to Neil Patrick?
Well, his looking at his grades, and then right before he talks to Neil Patrick Harris makes fun of him and puts his score on the big screen.
Yeah, he claps. He's about to pull him to the side.
Okay.
Yeah, so did you
so let's stop right there.
So
Okay,
I'm glad
good.
you stopped there too. So this showing your grades, showing your accomplishments and failures is very reminiscent of certain Asian cultures.
Yeah.
They literally do this.
Well, I was gonna
Thumbs up.
I was gonna make the point that the jock is being bullied by the nerd.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm glad you point that out. Yes. In this society, it's very much brains over bronze.
Well, yes and no, right? Because, like, when you think about it, and we'll go into it deeper as we progress, both of these men in the future of this country have a purpose. Neil Patrick Harris, we'll talk about what he becomes later, and Rico, a grunt, both are needed. So, like, there is this weird dichotomy of the nerd is bullying him, but in the same token, without later on, and once again, I don't want to go into it yet, but without Rico, what Neil Patrick Harris's purpose in the future can't happen. Essentially, guys like Rico.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, that's all I wanted to say, so we can jump right back. And we're all good? All right, jump back in.
Take the example of the arachnids, a highly evolved insect society. By human standards, they are relatively stupid. But their evolution stretches over millions of years. And now,
Here, take this.
they can colonize planets by hurling their spore into space.
Okay, I think we got it. The heart. Here's the stomach.
Learn some steel, huh?
Don't think about it. Just go on instinct. Try to visualize it.
I see.
All right, 9:55 in that realm. A couple things there. You have the biology scene where
with the
golden girl. That's her.
which Blanche, which once again is kind of showing this, like, she's she's hoping to be pilot, she's prim, she's proper, but without the grunt Rico, you can't dissect this thing. And it even kind of proves the point to, like, Diz as well, because she's she's being uber cunt because she likes Rico. And then I do find this interesting that not only is telepathy real, but it's a science that they're discovering.
Yeah.
I find that an interesting take on the idea of telepathy. To the point where he could talk to his ferret and tell it to go fuck with mom. I find that funny.
I do wish they went into more explanation on that, because they
Yeah.
just shoehorn it in. It's just there.
Yeah, it's just there. It's just, oh, haha, telepathy, it exists.
Yeah.
But I think I do find that take on it interesting, that it's treated as a science and not a like supernatural spiritual thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really all that's happened. So you guys all good to jump back in?
And Rico should have accidentally guessed it by now, at least once.
Well, that's just how dumb Rico is. He's not meant to think, he's meant to charge.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the animated movie, he's kind of that same character.
He is. Yeah, he is.
You know?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Are you all right?
Much better. Now.
Okay, I have words. 12:30. That's where I am.
Okay.
Good to go.
All right, I think this is a combination of football and rugby, I believe, because they can do a little bit more contact with each other.
It's almost like they were really assuming arena football was going to take off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do love how up to this point they have basically shat on Rico's character. He's not smart.
Nope.
He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't have psychic
No,
abilities.
yeah, no telepathy.
Yeah.
He's
But
a jealous
they show,
motherfucker.
yeah, they show his physical prowess and that it does not slow him down. I do love that they do that.
That he can somehow springboard over people.
I
Well,
know.
no, did you not hear though? He was going up a ramp. He see him going up, and you can hear the footsteps. Do 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 do.
Really?
They didn't edit that shit out. Yeah. They didn't even edit it out. You can hear him fucking stomping on something going up, and you see him kind of going up and then flipping.
I mean, I heard the stomping. I just assumed it's because of whatever they make the floor out of. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what
but you
arena
can see
football floors
you
are.
can see his body kind of going up to dive over the people. I was laughing at that.
Where are these other that dude looks like he's 35. The other guy that
The
she's
other
flirting
guy,
with?
right?
Yeah.
Like
Who,
he
by
does
the way, is also still making movies.
Yeah, but he this is what we thought was handsome in the 90s. Like a 35-year-old dude playing an 18-year-old.
Jet black hair.
Like what the fuck? Yeah, as soon almost to the point of he was like a couple years away from needing fucking Botox. Like he was really old.
He was already using that Rogaine for men.
Right? Like he's in the shower like I'm so gray. Oh, I gotta play an 18-year-old today.
Coloring
That's
his fucking...
it is weird. Yeah, the dynamic of his tone and his skin, like it just, you can tell he's older than everybody else. It just doesn't fit.
Well, now this is gonna go into old mommy and daddy, them talking about, I believe, his choices in life, which at this point, military's probably, I mean, his family can buy him status.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, he's gonna be, he can work at his daddy's company.
Also, that guy, it's his last day of being a citizen. So if you do enlist and you flunk out, are you still a citizen because you did try?
Oh, I highly doubt it.
Because so I'm just trying to think of if that guy is just now enlisting into flight school or whatever. How long has he been a citizen for? Because he said this is my last day as a citizen, or is he?
No,
also
he must
a
have
rich
said
boy?
civilian.
I think he said civilian.
or
A
yes,
citizen
yeah,
is the
I'm sorry,
military.
Yeah, I'm sorry, he said civilian.
Yeah, he's
But
going into
is he
military
also a
service
rich
as a
boy?
pilot. Probably.
Okay.
They all seem to be rich people in Buenos Aires.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like the rich planet.
Johnny, how come we never got together?
Can't we just be friends, Diz?
Hey, better hurry up if you want to catch him.
You're the best.
I'm about 10 seconds.
Did you guys get to the point where he turns down Diz?
Yes.
And then Neil Patrick Harris comes in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you, even if, she clearly doesn't want to be with him, she wants Rico, How do you still not like throw Neil Patrick Harris away? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, he's especially the way he approaches her through this whole movie.
Yeah, like you're going away tomorrow to military service. Like, well,
he's also a lot younger than all of them.
He looks a hell of a lot longer.
Well, in this, he's actually a genius.
Yeah,
and he's a higher level than all of them.
Potentially a doctor.
Yeah,
from his youth.
Back up real quick. The scene where
sorry,
he's talking to his parents, and his father's like, "I'd rather take 10 lashings." I don't think he meant it as a saying in this society.
No, in this society, you can
find out
lashings.
later too. You find out later too.
Which
you see in the military.
Insane with how advanced they are to how like barbaric their like punishments are.
Well, it's also like you're going to Harvard, and it's like he's going to Harvard.
There should be a law against using a school as a recruiting station.
No, Ratchak doesn't do that at all. He sort of discourages you.
Well, that's good. Because you're going to Harvard, and that's the end of it.
The 35% on the math finals going to Harvard. You must have some serious money, buddy.
Yeah, the family's paying for him to get through the college because he's smart.
You know, and
it's
then,
kind of like right now in society. Somebody's in.
Oh, I didn't think there'd be real life parallels. Let's continue.
Real quick too. Over Diz and Denise, I would pick Diz. Honestly,
I
don't know. Well, only because you can see her reaction to looking at other people and how she salivates. Denise Richards, her character, or what's her name, Carmen.
I mean, you
can see that.
Yeah, I like Diz more.
Yeah,
but I mean, you see her in that dress, Denise Richards.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I still found Diz a little more attractive than Denise Richards there.
I can understand why Rico wanted Denise Richards, and it rhymes with motorboating.
What would that be? I can't figure it out.
All right, let's jump in.
I've been thinking, and I'm gonna do it, Carmen. I'm gonna go for federal service.
That's great. Carla and I are signing up tomorrow. Come with us.
I will.
My father's not home tonight.
For me, I find it funny that like the moment he mentions that he's gonna sign up for federal service, she gets like wet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that's where
that is hilarious.
It's immediately like he whispers in her, like she might as well be whispering in his ear, like, so let's do anal then. Like she, like she just immediately like gets turned on from him enlisting. Apparently, you then have Diz again staring at him like that, and I just kind of thought about two things real quick. Why did the makers of this movie assume that future music would all be No Doubt?
It's a little weird.
With it looks like Amy Adams is the backup singer. It looks like this might have been one of her first roles because she didn't have nothing until '99.
I'll have to go back and look at that.
Yeah, it kind of looked like her when in the background. She was on when you're looking at the screen, she was on the right side.
She's one of the fembots.
Yeah.
I had another point besides the music, but the music annoys me at this party. Oh, like realistically, like he could just take his parents' money and find someone equally as beautiful who doesn't want to like serve in the federal fucking government, like or the military. I don't know, because like she's gonna go be a pilot. He's gonna be a fucking grunt.
Yeah, if anything, she's just gonna drop him off somewhere to possibly die.
Yeah, he'll be the first to go, and she'll be fucking pilot boy here in no time.
Yeah, the worst she's got to do is avoid the fucking asteroids,
right?
Oh, and the fucking eggs. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll see what happens actually.
Yeah, because they said that they could launch eggs.
You got to remember, we haven't invaded Clendathu yet.
Ah,
we've got basic training to go through, gentlemen.
But that's what Blanche said at the beginning. She's like, but they can launch their sperm or whatever.
But they're incredibly stupid.
I also find it funny for somebody who's so athletic and so jockey as the way his character is. He's really seeking approval from somebody.
How is he so insecure?
That's what I don't get. It's a little weird.
That's what I'm saying. Like every turn of the fucking scene, he's like jealous about something.
Well,
when it comes to her.
Well, it's almost like the jocks are not the cool kids. Like, I mean, even the guy, even the jock that the guy on the other team, he's going to be at least a pilot. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a grunt. Like, he's at least going into an area. He's got the brains and the grades and everything. So, despite him being 35 and playing arena football, he's still probably way smarter than Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but it makes sense. I mean, she said it earlier when she's like, can you imagine flying, a 32-ton ship in space? I mean, only Lord knows how much they cost. Mm-hmm. So, like, you would have to have some brains to get around that.
Yeah,
it
you'd
doesn't
assume
weigh
it's
that
like
much in space, though.
You'd assume it'd be like getting tested as like an officer and shit like that.
Yeah,
and who knows? Maybe there's a system in the lore from high school where like your position in federal service gets you, like, your grades get you different positions. You never know.
Well, Carmen does say at the beginning that your math score is like your main dependent on her.
Where they put you in federal service, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it depends on where you're going to be at. And then Rico with his 35.
Yeah, he's going to be on the front line of death. You guys ready to do it?
Why did they give the rest of his scores? Like that would have been fun.
He probably got a 99 in coloring. So
inside the lines, all you had to do.
Can you shoot a bug? 98 percentile.
All right, ready when you guys are.
Here we go.
Of the meaning and consequences of this oath, enroll in the federal service for not less than 2 years, and as much longer as may be required by the needs of the Federation.
That's interesting. So when you sign up, it's a minimum 2 years, or it extends as long as you're needed. So if you enlist and you're at war, you can be in there indefinitely. That's interesting.
Yeah, you can't, even if you made your 2 years, you can't get out.
That's interesting.
And little did they know that this is actually a legal binding contract. So they're actually enlisted it for the future war that we're going to have against these thugs.
Yeah.
In real
Interesting.
life.
That's, what are you, Dwight Schrute? That's a legal binding marriage contract. All right, let's jump back in.
And that's all there is to it. It may look bad, but if that's the worst you suffer, then that's fine. I won't quit. I'm telling you, you will. You're not going back. You're going on vacation.
Did I seriously just witness an argument where one person is going, "You are going on vacation," and the other person is going, "I don't want to go on vacation."
With the parents? With the
yeah,
parents?
when he's arguing with his dad.
Yeah.
How fucking stupid.
So real quick, you said 2157. Where did you pause at?
They're in the airport.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 2057.
Okay.
20. Yeah, that's where I'm 2056.
I'm at 21.
Can we talk about just where we're paused? Just before she meets up with him, can we talk about the guy in the background who lifted his daughter like the shittiest father on the planet and spun her around?
I wish I could have saw
I
that.
did see that.
I got distracted by the woman with the blonde hair and a white dress walking forward.
Like, you can tell they're not related. He's like, "Listen, kid, I'm gonna pick you up real quick. We're just gonna do a quick spin."
Yeah, you are an
Let you
actor.
down."
I am an actor. That's all that matters.
Red flag when he says "I love you" and she just goes. Ah. He should have just fucking known to cut all ties. Also, his father was actually right. You're doing this because of a woman.
Yeah, he is A, and B, it's almost like she's been extra sweet to him knowing that, like, this is it. Like, as soon as she gets on this shuttle, she's done.
Yeah. But one thing is, it is because of her when he starts this fucking mission or this whole life change. But eventually, well, we all know the fucking, we do.
Yeah. Well, when we get to that part, I'll point out exactly when he stops thinking about her.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna miss you too.
I love you.
That's me.
Just say it once. Try it on for size.
I love you.
All right, real quick. He says, "Say it once, try it on for size." And rather than saying it fully, she's like, I love you.
Yeah.
What was that about?
And then the face she makes when she says it, it's like, I love you.
What the fuck was that? I love you. Like you could have put a little effort into it. Let's get back into it.
Are you guys at the Halo grunts?
No, I'm. I think that's gonna be the next scene.
Okay.
Where the grunts just handed out bullets to kids. Like Halo grunt like, has a handful of bullets and just gives kids bullets, and they're grabbing bullets out of his hand.
Fully automatic burrito. Who wants to hold it?
Citizen rule. People making a better tomorrow.
So I'm just gonna say where we are because the time codings are all fucked up with between us.
I just saw the cow get left there.
Yeah. So I felt bad for that cow, even though I like in my head I'm like the alien's just CG, but I still felt bad. Like it slipped and fell at first because they pushed it.
Every school kid knows that arachnids are dangerous.
Before the cow even gets in there, the cow fucking falls over. So that's
what I thought. In the beginning of the movie, you see a guy literally bit in half. They're about to show the scene coming up. You know the scene I'm talking about.
We've got. So remember though, and I always forget this too because I'm in my mind it's like let's get to the violence. We have like a 20-minute long basic training scene that's pretty amazing too coming up.
Yeah, but they censor the death of a cow.
Yeah.
But on the maybe because it's news, with the war footage, you don't have time to really. Well, how are you going to edit it?
Would you like to know more?
Would you? Yeah, somebody's clicking. Like I always love the clicking, like you're actually in a monitor, you know, utilizing it.
Yeah. Also, I want to go back a little bit. When what's his name? What's his name? Casper Van Dien? Rico. Yeah. When he's sitting there and he's telling the guy, "Yeah, I'm going into infantry." He goes, "Infantry made me the man I am today." I was thinking more like half the man you are today.
He goes, "I'll be the bigger man and walk away." Let's. Would you like to know more? Let's jump back in.
Trouble is, you are not good enough the way you are. Hands at your sides. Chin up. I am your senior drill instructor, Career Sergeant Sim. Suck it, that gun. Feet together.
All right, real quick. At the end, you know, he hits Rico, hits the guy in the leg, and then he's get it together. That was straight up Mr. Krabs right there.
Yeah.
It sounded just like Mr. Krabs.
I like money.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Why did you open up a second Krusty Krab right next to the other one? I like money. Yeah, dude. He's yelling at the guy. I heard nothing but Mr. Krabs there.
I know. Now that I know that, I can't take him seriously any other way.
I just want to point out, which I won't be able to show because of how graphic it is. The colonists, if you listen, were inhabited by Mormons.
However, Mormon extremists disregarded federal warnings and established Port Joe Smith, deep inside the arachnid quarantine zone. Too late, they realized that Dantana had already been chosen by other colonists, arachnids.
Yeah.
That's who, and it's Mormons who defied the orders of the federal, and they moved to that colony. Fucking ridiculous.
It was the bugs who had another decision.
Yeah, they moved in with other colonists, the arachnids. It's fucking ridiculous. Let's jump back in.
Do you think I'm funny? Do I make you laugh? Do you think I'm a comedian, son?
I'm sorry.
The first words and the last words out of your stinking holes will be, sir. Do you get me?
Sir, yes, sir.
See that armory? Run around it. Run, I said. Run. Runsky, keep pace. Anytime you...
Hold on, 24. I'm at the part where.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Take up. Pulls his stick out. Move! And he starts chasing him with his fucking baton.
No hesitation.
Okay.
Just the fact that he pulls the baton out too, like it's not even just
Keep on
chasing.
pace.
Yeah, keep on pace, and he fucking move. Fucking great. Back to it. Okay, I'm sorry to be jumping in so quickly. The fact that this military service is you don't have to be there. Literally, you can leave and it's nothing but pride.
Yep.
Like take washout lane, like it's nothing but pride.
Think I'm being too tough. Anytime you think I'm being unfair. Anytime you miss your mommy, quit! You son from 1248, you grab your gear, you take a stroll down washout lane.
That's insane. This whole society. The only reason these people are here is to be citizens. And if you can't do it, wash out as civilian. It's just such an odd concept where it's like,
I know.
Can't do it, leave.
And it's funny because parallel to most military services,
You're
today,
locked in. It's a contract.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's a contract.
It's a 4-year tour of duty, or 4-year tour of service ship. But it's just like the concept of like, yeah, no problem. You can't hack it, pussy. Wash out lane.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want. You must. You're clearly not citizenship material. Go
So
on
if you're
ahead
not-
and leave.
If you're not able to fulfill your duty in the U.S. military, isn't it like not a court martial, but a dishonorable discharge? And
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the cases, it depends on what goes on. You could be looking at court martial plus, with whatever time that is, plus you're going to get a dishonorable discharge. I honestly don't know what happens. Like, I don't know if there's an option in the military in real life to be like, I can't handle it. Like, is there? I don't know.
No, you have to. If you ever get to that point, I think it's a mental evaluation,
right?
And then
it's medical dishonorable, medical charge. Okay. I mean, I would assume that at this point, dishonorable discharge is meant for like
something that happened.
You did something in war crime. You killed somebody. You hurt somebody. You stole. You were doing a gambling ring, like weird shit like that. You disobeyed direct order that led to the deaths of people, whatever the case may be. And maybe you're right. Maybe if you're such a ball of wreckage because you can't handle it,
Also,
you're a medical discharge. Maybe you're
which
right.
is super wonky because in the our military services has their own court system and police.
That's what I was about to say. When you get arrested, aren't their charges a little more extreme?
Yes,
because you are in service. If you are,
for example, let's say
not just
let's say
extreme,
you're-
but it's federal prison. You don't go to state prison. You go to federal prison.
Let's say you're in the service of military, and as an extreme, you potentially rob somebody and you end up killing them. Let's say in regular court, you get tried as not guilty. All right, you're like, hey, I'm off. I'm not guilty because you can't be tried again for the same crime if you're tried not guilty.
You can be brought up
They
on
can take you
military
straight
charges.
to military court and be like,
if you're
hey,
enlisted.
Yes, if
Right.
you're enlisted. Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, I think the whole concept is it's a higher standard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And especially in this sort of atmosphere, the higher standard is civilian or citizen.
And I imagine, and I know they don't go into it, but I imagine if you leave leave citizenship and you're like, hey, I can't
Oh, you're blackballed.
cut it. I imagine like in society you must be looked down
It's a
upon pretty hard.
permanent it's a permanent record. I guarantee you. Like, forget recommendation letters, forget transcripts. If you wash out of military service, you're a janitor in civilianship. Like, I guarantee you become the lowest bidder of society. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would assume so. I'd assume it's kind of like you're blacklisted for anything that has any sort of prestige level.
Which is insane. It goes to show you that in this movie, in this society,
Fascism
yeah.
was a real thing, and that's how I think where Paul Verhoeven kind of went, like, and then like it goes back to the whole idea of 10 lashings. Like, I think there's probably certain things in the book that involves more or less what it is to be a citizen and not. And that's probably and it really does intrigue me because it kind of makes me want to read the books now to see or at least the original one to see what I have to look and see on the Kindle how much that is later because I'd love to see. I mean, I love this movie. I've seen it so many times. It's one of my favorites. I don't know a whole lot about it, the originating lore being the book. All right, guys, let's get back into it.
That's the kind of gal who makes squad leader.
That's my job you're talking about.
All right, pause. Real quick, they're in the cafe, and he's got this stupid water cast on. Is it just me? Do you think like that she was the Street Fighter character Carrie made yet, or what? Do you think this came out and then they made Carrie? Because this is not
Cammy.
Cammy. This is 90. This is 97.
Street Fighter 2, because Cammy was in Street Fighter 2.
Turbo, which was
yeah.
the later edition.
So, 2 Turbo. I thought about 1992, so it was out before.
So, her look is a clear inspiration from Cammy. The soldiers' looks are a mix of Halo and Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Like the medics look like Doom soldiers. So,
and Mr. Crab kind of looks like a Guile character before
a
little bit,
yeah. I mean, he's got a little bit of that. There is a definite, like, I mean, I don't know, just seeing her in that form, like that's clearly Cammy without the thong.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that said, what is up with Rico? Like, the only person from anywhere near where he lives, literally an old friend shows up, and it's like, ugh. Like, I get it. She wanted to fuck you, and you didn't want to fuck her. But, like, you're not home anymore, and you got a taste of home. Literally, you could have a taste of home, and it's like, ugh. The fuck's his problem?
And then he's actually enjoying it.
Yeah, when she's getting choked out.
Yeah.
Plays into I think if Rico would have volunteered, he could have given that sergeant a run for his money. But again, he stays back.
But he doesn't know how to fight at all. He's just tough.
Yeah.
Like Rico is the one that you want leading the charge of the guys who are going to break through the wall. You don't want him organizing who's breaking through where. Like
he's the one that's going to follow the orders to get us there.
He's a good tip of the spear. Just brute force is in. Well, I mean, he's got agility and everything, but once again, she goes into a fight stance, and Rico would have been like, "All right, let's do this." I guess, like, you know.
Also, they're there for military training, and the sergeant just immediately takes out an asset. But
the thing about it is it's like we're so advanced. He's just got a water cast, and he's fine. And he's just medic. Like, I love how that becomes a theme in these next few scenes. Him yelling medic. Let's jump back in. Okay, so I know it's so soon. I just do kind of find it funny that, like, he points out, he's like, "You're pretty tough for a rich kid." And it's like, Rico comes from Buenos Aires, Jake Busey comes from Planet Trash of White. You know what I mean? Like, completely different class spectrum.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready to go if you guys are.
Yeah.
Go.
God damn it, the fucking bruise on her neck. It's so soon. We literally just started again. But she walks up, and if you notice, her neck is all bruised.
I know, she's completely demolished.
All right, continue.
Ceasefire. Stand on that wall, trooper. Put your hand on that wall. The enemy cannot push a button if you disable his hand.
Medic!
It just, again, another fucking asset just taken to the wind.
The enemy cannot push a button if you disable his hand.
Yeah. I'm surprised nobody was like, "But they're bugs, sir. They don't have hands."
Well, he's training for all sorts. Now, I don't know if you guys went a scene past before you got paused, but it's immediately into the co-ed shower scene.
Yeah, that's where
I'm in the shower scene.
And I paused it in a specific area where I'm pretty sure I'm seeing Casper Van Dien's dong hanging down by the vent, and it's a huge. If it's what I'm seeing.
What's his name? Jake. What's his name? Busey.
Busey, yeah.
He's lined up with the pole perfectly where his dong is.
I just find, and we'll go into we'll go ahead and let's watch the next I don't know, few seconds, and we'll come back because there is an interesting conversation that happens in the shower scene here. So let's.
Did you want to pause right after the shower scene?
Yeah, right after the shower scene, we'll come back and talk about it. I know it sounds weird us saying that. All right, yeah, I don't like Diz at the beginning of this movie for the reasons Rico doesn't. And right there, I hate how, like, is it you? And she's like, like, kind of gives that look.
Yeah.
Another important thing is you see Rico kind of start to process his privilege. Because here you have this other guy, a fellow soldier of his, talking about, I got into Harvard, but it cost too much, so I'm here to pay for it. And right then and there, he has that look like, I could have gotten into Harvard because my daddy would have paid for it.
Yep.
You know,
also the other guy didn't want to be a farmer. He's there because he wants to get out of that shit.
That's not the same guy that's in the coach show, right?
The dumb one?
Yeah. What else was he in?
Beetlejuice. He's coach. I don't think we survived that crash.
No, but he had a role where he was more recognizable though. I don't remember what it was. I feel like he's not the guy from the show Coach though, right?
No.
That's another guy. That was the guy. Was that the guy that was in Princess Bride? I feel like it's the same guy. Or not Princess. I'm sorry. Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Okay, I was about to say that.
Yeah, no,
I don't think he's Little John. I don't think. Are you talking about Little John? I don't think
he's not. But there's another actor that I think the actor who is in Coach plays Little John.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what I recognize that guy from, but I do definitely know him from something. I feel like it's a war movie, but I don't know. I'll have to look at his IMDb after. You guys ready to get back into it?
Real quick.
Yep.
Two things. This is the only scene where, because up until this point, you feel like it's privileged kids who get a chance to be citizens, and this is the only scene where it really breaks down. Like, no, it's for everybody. A lot of people use it to get privileges.
Yeah, and they also do explain, so like you don't have to serve to have babies. You still have to be licensed, but if you've served, you have a much better time having children. The one woman wants to be a politician, and you have to be a citizen to be a politician. So like, in a way, as weird as it is to say, forcing people to serve to obtain those privileges does, in a certain form, level the playing field, does it not? Like, no matter who you are, you all have to go through the meat grinder that is this minimum 2-year service. It's an interesting concept. And I think that's true to even regular military. Like, if you're a grunt, you're a grunt, you're a grunt.
You know where you know him from? You're going to fucking be like, that's right. Major League 2 and 3.
Yes. Okay.
I think he's the catcher.
Yep. The dumb one.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I actually like both of those movies. I like all three of those Major League movies.
He was in a lot of other stuff after that.
Yeah, he always played that. And you know what? That's not even the role that I'm remembering him from.
No.
He was in a role.
Crimson Tide?
No. Was he in Baby's Day Out?
That would, of course, be after Starship.
Oh, that's
Troopers.
Earlier than Starship Troopers, I think.
Oh, is
actually,
it?
that wouldn't have been him. No, I think that's probably 5 or so years earlier.
He goes back to 85. I mean, he was a kid.
Yeah, he's probably 30 here.
Belvedere.
Mr. Belvedere. Let's jump back into it.
All
right, real quick. Now, you thought you saw Amy Adams. I don't know if we haven't confirmed that yet. This is for sure Amy Smart.
Right.
In a very small role.
Yes.
I think this is like the only scene you see her in.
Yeah, this, and I think a little after this, or no, or is this the one?
I don't even think she's on the ship late. I don't know. I don't remember her in any other scene but this one, but we'll see.
But I do remember her being in this.
I thought something happens to her in another scene.
If she's on the ship, then she's one of the ones to die later on.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Let's find out.
Deploying wings.
All right, I Does this not remind you of the RV from fucking Spaceballs?
Yeah, it's
Lone Star?
it's pretty crude CG, even though it's over 10 years later. The
Also-
green screen, yeah.
Also, they're kind of freaking out because she's the pilot and she's driving this fucking big ass fucking bulky thing in front of her.
It's a flying Winnebago.
Oh god.
Yeah, there's don't tread on me bumper sticker on the back of it.
Yeah. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt for that, but
Let's do it.
3 meters from object. Clear.
Don't exceed port speed,
Or what?
or they revoke your flight status. And mine.
Your career's in my hands.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
For all of you who created the Paramount Halo TV show, this movie is older and still does a better job at least producing a Halo-like device with Halo-like ships.
I also want to point out
environment.
that the ship that she gets to fly also does really look like the ship from Spaceballs that the Spaceballs are flying. Like it fucking really does, bro. Like that's ridiculous.
It's kind of phallic like already.
Yeah, it's got this look of like, when does it end? Yeah, and I noticed it immediately. It's even got like the Spaceballs had the tail wing, almost spoiler looking thing at the end of it, and that has it too. Yeah, no, that's pretty ridiculous.
All crew, all sections, stand by to cut in C drive.
Start drive in. 5, 4, ready, steady, go.
Okay, just real quick. I don't think the common military vernacular is ready, steady, go.
Yeah.
He's like, ready, steady, go. Like, her, and the whole thing is like, how does she go from being fucking tight ass to like wild child pilot? Like, it's
I
like
heard about a girl who's wild on the stick.
yeah, it's a complete like character switch.
Yeah,
like they made her
confidence is
they
weird.
made they were like innocent whatever to like Maverick within 3 months.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back in.
All right, before we get to the really good scene.
You're at the beginning of the training sequence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Live ammunition.
Yeah.
This is the first time Rico actually admits what he's doing.
Yeah.
Through the whole movie, he doesn't know what he wants to do, and this is the first time he admits it.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, there's been within basic training, Rico has realized A, he's privileged, and B, he was a fool for enlisting, thinking that he'd be with her forever.
Will.
He does become friends with Diz again because she helped him with the getting squad leader.
Yep, pulling the football routine shit.
And it's just like, not only is he getting dumped, but like a bunch of his fucking fellow soldiers watch it happen on the video.
They're seeing it happen and they're fucking like, oh, and they all start like,
yeah, they sort of have like a, ooh, like I need to get away from this. This is bad.
Yeah, this is private time.
Now those of you who've seen this movie understand what's coming next. Let's jump in because it's one of my faves too.
Damn it, Breckenridge! Leave me line of fire! It's my helmet! Don't screw it up! You're gonna blow the spark! Damn!
Dumb shit!
Did stay put. What's the problem?
Damn thing keeps getting in my way!
How come whenever something goes wrong, it's always you, Breckenridge?
It must be because I'm big and dumb!
Damn right!
So real quick, here
right.
we have Hank. Have you gotten to where he's talking to the officer? That's
Yeah.
Hank.
It just started.
Hank from Breaking Bad. He was also in another Paul Verhoeven movie, Total Recall. He played the alien with the split face.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So here we have Hank. He's been in a bunch of shit. He was in Terminator 2. He was one of the SWAT guys when they go into the Skynet building to destroy it.
That's right. Yeah.
He's like the lead SWAT. So before Breaking Bad, he had a whole shit house full of like minor, small roles in the 90s.
Beginner roles. Yeah.
Well, yes, I mean, Breaking Bad really gave him superstar, but
My whole thing is medic. Medic's not
Again,
gonna fucking
yeah,
do
this
shit for
medic
that guy.
wasn't a good one.
When his head is in two, yeah. I'm gonna post what I can. I may have to blur out the violence in that, but we'll do what we have to.
In a way, okay, like we don't. I haven't seen what's gonna happen next, but is it Rico's fault?
It is.
It is.
It is. As the commanding officer, you should have
Yeah,
never had
the helmet.
Yeah, you should have never had him take the helmet off in a battlefield.
And if they are, they should have got as low to the fucking ground as possible.
I mean, it's her fault too for lack of trigger discipline.
Yeah,
it's
but
very
it's
true.
as the commanding officer who commanded him to take off the helmet, it's his fault.
You did see the way she was holding the gun when it was firing, right?
Yeah, I mean, fucking.
It was like a fucking
politicians, man.
But even if, for example, even if he didn't take off the helmet and somebody got hit in the leg or arm, it still would have been Rico's fault. He still would have been relieved of commanding.
He would have been
officer.
relieved of squad command, but I don't think he would have received punishment. I think if another soldier would have shot another soldier, that soldier would have gotten whatever the punishment would be.
Yeah.
But in this case, you're the squad command leader. You ordered him to take off his helmet. Your other soldier wasn't covering. That's why they were able to get shot by the alien. Like, it was just a clusterfuck. And then, of course, the diffy bitch is too, more worried about the score than anything else, even though it's a live, ammunition exercise.
Right.
Yeah, it's just kind of a clusterfuck in general. Here we are. We're going to go ahead and deal with Rico's aftermath of what went on.
Here we go.
Sergeant, we've already lost 2 recruits over this incident. Do you think there's any possibility of salvaging this man?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right. We'll try administrative punishment.
Real quick. I just remembered what happens. This goes Passion of the Christ real quick, doesn't it? Yeah, that's right. Okay. That's right.
That's where we talked about the 10 lashes earlier.
Yeah. We'll go into that because I want to go into that next time. Let's agree to pause when we go into the right after the punishment and
Competence of command for failure to abide by safety regulations during a live fire exercise, for negligence which contributed to the death of a teammate. Recruit trainee John Rico is sentenced to administrative punishment. 10 lashes. You may carry out the sentence.
All right, let's pause real quick because I forgot there was an in-between with the ship and everything. So the next scene after we get off this is essentially where the movie really kicks off into the action spectrum. After this, it's more action than anything. But it's interesting that they call it administrative punishment. I had a thought in my head while watching that. Is the idea behind the lashings, is that supposed to be kind of like old slave ideology? Like, don't forget, we own you? Do you think that has any, like, it's like some symbolic of that? Or do you think it's just for some reason they went back to weird ass lashings?
I think it was just like some way of enforcing, like, hey, this is your job. Because if it was, why would you be able to walk out?
I don't know. I feel like there's some connotation with the whole idea of like you're a slave to the federal military. Like, well, if you're going to be here, we own you.
Okay.
To Matt's point, obviously this is in the future. Slavery is over with. But if you notice, when the sergeant walks him up, he calls him a prisoner, which is essentially he doesn't call him by his rank. He doesn't call him by his name. He calls him a prisoner, which is the lowest form. So I think it's the lowest form for them.
Yeah, it's almost like we're going to
aspect.
belittle you. We're going to scar you to make you understand that we own you and you act the way we tell you to.
Also, that first lash was actually a lot more graphic than the rest of them after that, because
it's
the first one was like it
split open, yeah.
But then everything else was just kind of like it
was just like it was like ketchup on his back. Yeah, the rest of them was like the whip had ketchup on it, and it was just like dousing him with it. And here's the line of ketchup. I do also find it funny that not funny but interesting that like the black dude is
The
their
one who's
sergeant's
doing-
like right-hand man.
Yeah.
Like you notice it's the same guy who was chasing after the other one.
Yeah,
Like he's the
it's
dude
sort of-
that's always with Mr. Krabs. I find that very awesome. Let's go. Let's jump back in. I forgot there was a ship scene here with her. You know, I don't know. I got the Denise Richards storyline in this movie is my least I'm least interested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
agree.
I don't really like her character in the movie. I'm a Diz guy personality-wise. I made a joke about the bosoms earlier,
Yeah.
but I've been a team Diz since I was a kid, so like I've always been a little on the board side with anything that has to do with her bullshit. I don't care about the 35-year-old, 18-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
No. What do you want?
That sweet ass.
Looks like a peanut.
Impact, 6 seconds.
Emergency evasion.
All right, so they just clear the asteroid. That's where I'm at. What? They're literally flying a spaceship, and she's still got to break glass to open like it's a fucking fire extinguisher. How does that make any sense?
I know the emergency.
Like the whole thing of like,
jump.
like it's all futuristic and comes out of its own pod, and you'd think there would be a handy dandy button that you would press and the shielding would open. No, she judo chops the shit to open it. Like, what the fuck is that about?
The technology between like futuristic and modern is hilarious.
Like literally you're in the future, but the music is ska from the 90s, like ska pop. Like there's so many weird, just like continuity breaking things that don't make any sense. And then like she's in her chambers doing what? Was she knitting? And she's like, I like how she's over the monitor. Evasive maneuvers. No shit, there's a giant potato in front of us. Or Alex called it a peanut. Like, how do you, by the way, like, why do they see it on radar before seeing it through the window?
Yeah.
Like, you don't see a giant peanut coming at you? It's like, something on radar is the myth.
They were staring at each other's coffee.
By the way, what kind of psychopaths drink black coffee? Who likes, do you guys like black coffee?
Hey.
No, there is something wrong with your immature taste buds if you like black coffee.
At home, I drink my coffee black.
Furthermore,
you have terrible palate, sir.
What kind of psychopath drinks out of a glass coffee mug?
Like it's not even
clear,
like it's not even like
clear glass coffee mug.
What is the point of glass coffee mugs? Like they're like tiny little beer mugs. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't understand it.
No, the reason why I drink black coffee is because I don't want my coffee to cool on. I want to drink it while it's still hot.
I loves me. You know me. I'm a cold brew guy at this point in my life. I don't drink any other coffee that isn't cold brew. The only thing I will make the exemption for is an iced latte. Like I actually could probably I can't drink any coffee right now because if I do I won't be going to bed before I go out and do my errands in the morning. I'll just be staying awake the whole night. So yeah, let's jump back in.
Real quick. We have a hell of a flight team, but because she recoursed the fucking ship,
they came across.
It was hit by the goddamn peanut in the first place.
Well,
You know, that's
but
a
then
good
they would have never
point.
discovered it. They never would have discovered it though.
That's another good point. They are the first line, but in the same token, had they have charted his course, they wouldn't have any damage. They wouldn't be lucky to be alive because they wouldn't have dealt with it.
Also,
Yeah,
there would have been. There
exactly.
still would have been even more no knowledge about.
Well,
Actually,
I think the whole concept is the aliens are whipping the meteors at them. So theoretically, if as they approached, you would assume no matter what direction they came
They
from,
figured it
they
out.
would have whipped it at them. Yeah, it would be my kind of idea. All right, let's jump in.
an asteroid the size of a peanut.
Well, no, the shape of a peanut, the
Shape of a
size,
peanut,
the size
sorry.
of a Volkswagen.
It's not really working out here for me, Dad. I was hoping it would be all right if I came home.
Of course, you should come home immediately.
I'm sorry. I've been an idiot.
Now, don't talk like that. You just come on home. Talk things out. We love you, son.
Oh my, what's that?
Looks like rain.
This time of year?
Sure is dark.
Your transmission has been terminated due to...
Anybody catch the AT&T promotion?
Yeah, that's actually fairly clever in movie sponsorship, though, if you ask me.
Yeah, that was really well placed. Not in your face, off to the side. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's a call, so there would be, AT&T still prominent.
So that was at the end of the call. I didn't catch that one.
Yeah, it showed AT&T. Much like that sort of shit's in Demolition Man. Ooh, that would be another good one to do. And I think it's on Hulu. We'll have to look into that one. Lewis would have to be in on that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump back in.
You made your decision, son.
Sir, my family. My whole family was in Buenos Aires, sir.
Is this your signature, Rico?
Sir, yes it is, sir.
Doesn't look like it to me. Carry on, Private.
Yes, sir.
All right. He just doesn't look like it to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is probably one of my favorite scenes of this movie. I also find it interesting. I've got it paused right where after he goes, "Is this your signature? Doesn't look like it to me." And the shot's right on Casper Van Dien.
And you can this?
Yeah, well, you can see that he's sweating, and there's a line where the makeup department had wiped his forehead a little, and he has still sweat more. I find that interesting. Also, I remember from the trailer, one of the scenes is he's like, "What's going on?" And the dude's like, "We're going to war!
War! We're going to war!"
Also, I don't have any proof of this, but I'm almost positive the voice delivering the headlines talking about Buenos Aires and all that is none other than Kurtwood Smith, the villain from another Paul Verhoeven movie, RoboCop, or you may know him as Red Foreman.
Oh, really?
It does sound like him.
I'm almost positive it's him. I was listening, and I got to look into it because he's not. I don't believe he's listed in the credits or anything. So I got to look into that because it sounded just like him.
I do love the news of this world where like people just died, and it's like fire and just the number of people dead.
Yeah, and they're showing them pulling like the wreckages everywhere, and there's just bodies. It's terribly gruesome, and it's not only show, but it's the counter.
Yeah,
it's like
going up and up.
Going up. It's like 12 million, 13 million. It's like, what in the fuck?
12 million here and 8 million here.
Yeah, it's just going up. It's like a game show. Oh, let's jump back in. That's me. That's me. I come outside and the rubble of my home has crushed Yoshi. And I look dead into the camera. The only good bug is a dead bug.
And anger.
The only good bug is a dead bug.
Except I'm shirtless. Carry on.
Eat bugs for lunch.
Yum, yum, yum.
So, Trooper, you're not too worried about fighting the arachnids?
Hey, shoot a nuke down a bug hole, you got a lot of dead bugs.
I just hope it's not over before we get some.
Some say the bugs were provoked by the intrusion of humans into their natural habitat. That a live and let live policy is preferable to war with the bugs.
Let me tell you something. I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say kill them all. Yeah.
Okay, so they do mention it. Did you guys get to the part where he says some say the bugs were provoked by people entering their area? Okay. I didn't remember that. That's actually cool. I'm happy.
Was that the news reporter?
No, yeah, he's in the did you get to the point where Rico is looking at the camera and talking to it?
Yeah, I'm at Rico meets Carmen now.
Okay, so you're a little bit ahead. Right before that, when he says, some say the humans provoked the bugs by going into their territory.
Okay.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay, so they do at least mention it. So it's there. They just don't go into any sort of detail. Okay. Answers my question from the beginning. Let's do it. All right, question. Just out of the ballpark. Is there any way possible some of the inspiration in the story Talladega Nights, where she leaves Ricky Bobby for John C. Reilly? Is there any way it's inspired by this little triangle here? Like, it's basically the same
You don't look
thing.
happy to see me.
Well, it's basically
Shit,
like
I mean-
what I'm doing's the best for the both of us, and then he's in there like, we're the team now. Like, it's the same shit, dude. That's fucking ridiculous. I wonder if they all got high and they're like, remember how like in Starship Troopers there was like a whole love triangle for no reason at all? Maybe we should do that. All right, let's jump back in.
You don't look very happy to see me.
Should I be?
Johnny. It's different now. We're at war. I mean, I think what I did was probably the best thing for both of us.
Everything copacetic, Lieutenant?
Xander, you remember Johnny? Xander and I are a flight team now.
Yeah, best in the fleet.
I get it. This is the part that's best for both of us.
Okay, stop for a second.
Where you at?
Where they're holding them both back and they're both.
We're not
screen,
there.
you know.
So give us a couple seconds to catch up.
All right, I'm there.
You there too, Matt?
Impressive hammer elbows.
Okay, now any rule of your friend being in a fight, if they're getting their ass whooped, you're about to break it up. But if they start to make a comeback, you don't break the fucking fight up. And they started breaking the fight up. You're mad.
Wouldn't the grunts also just jump in and start fighting?
Right away, they would have.
Like, they wouldn't have been holding anybody back. They would have been also hitting people.
One in, all in, yeah. But the way they broke it up as soon as he started getting the upper hand again, that wouldn't have happened in a real fucking fight where you had your boys fucking watching your back, man.
I mean, once again, though, and I'm not going to spoil anything. This is a weird concept because, like, we've all watched this movie.
Yeah.
And so I do feel like on the next one, it should be a movie none of us have ever seen somehow, which I don't know if that's even honestly possible.
Gotcha.
Like, there's not a very large margin for movies that none of us have seen.
We could do the new Father of the Bride on HBO Max.
We shouldn't, though, because that's not going to happen.
With Andy Garcia.
Alex could do that one on his own. You know what? I like Andy Garcia. And I found out, I haven't watched the Kenobi show yet, but I found out Jimmy Smits reprises his role as Leia's adoptive father. So
Nice.
I actually kind of really like that about it, and it intrigues me. I know it's fucked up that solely because
like
Jimmy
Jimmy
Smits
Smits.
is in it. I liked him too. I like him going all the way back to Running Scared when he was the
Yeah,
bad
I was gonna say
guy.
he's the bad guy in Running Scared.
Yeah, when he's in the old merchant mart and he's fucking going up the Yep. Anyways, different entire movie. Let's get back into it. Did anyone else just notice that when he says jarheads, it's clearly he didn't say anything, it was added in post?
It didn't match.
Because he walks away and it's like, it goes jarheads and his mouth is like... He doesn't actually say anything there. Continue.
Are you guys by the tattoos?
Yeah, he's getting it right now. Jake Busey just poured booze on this laser tattoo. How can a laser put color in, though?
Well,
it's the future,
it's
man.
the future.
Okay, can anyone explain any sort of science behind colored lasers?
Hell no. I don't think you can impose color.
My main thing is, why was he being a dick and made him stop his tattoo? Because now look at the A's all fucked up, the B's fucked up.
All right, here's the thing. I'm assuming Paul Verhoeven would be like, well, you see, we have laser jet ink printers. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that would have been the justification for that being real.
Here's something else too. Did you get to the part where they're all showing their tattoos?
Yeah. Well, no, but I know the part. It's coming up in a
Okay,
second.
so when they show it, none of it fucking matches.
All right, now I have to watch it. Let's see. Give me a second.
God, that hurts. Hey, well, I got something that might hurt just a little bit more. Oh, yeah! We're gonna fight! And we're gonna win! Yeah!
I mean, it matches well enough, but maybe that's the military supplied free tattoo robot. You know what I mean? Like we know you grunts are gonna get tattoos, so we provided you a robot for it.
So she's the smallest one out of all of them. Her
It has the
tattoo
largest
is
triangle.
clear. It's the clearest and it's almost the largest. Rico's is fucking really large. His fucking letters are all fucked up. And then the little guy on the right side, his letters are all too thick, and so is fucking Busey's.
Dude, do you think the poor makeup artist had to like hand draw it on each of them?
Yeah.
Instead of it being like a template, they had to hand do it on each arm.
Yeah,
it does look hand drawn.
The letters don't match up. They're the same style, but they're either too thick or too thin.
Dude, you had one job.
Just make it look,
like you can make blood and gore on the bodies look realistic as fuck, but you couldn't get a template down.
And then it's funny because Rico's tattoo, clearly you see the effects of the liquid being poured on it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you probably shouldn't have done that.
Paul Verhoeven, what have you done?
It's funny though. It's funny.
Yeah, no, those are those little quirks that allow it to fly under the it's a campy action movie, a campy sci-fi action movie radar. It's part of the charm. Like you look, and I think RoboCop, while decidedly more serious than this movie in my opinion, falls under that realm too. Although I will say, for its time, it's a much better made movie than this one. As far as just how well it's, I think RoboCop is one of the best sci-fi.
Story driven and everything,
Yeah, it's just good. I mean, whether you have the camera angles of them shooting out of the back of the truck to the, can you fly, Bobby? Which I have to figure out if Kurtwood Smith is that voice, because I'm almost positive that was Red Foreman. All right, let's jump back in. All right, I don't care. I understand the CG's dated. It still looks fucking good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
like,
it's good.
It's still not trash looking. Like when you think about how bad the CG in Dark City was, and that was I think a year before this. Maybe not even, maybe the same year. Like for what it was, the CG was pretty decent. In a lot of areas, it's a poo-poo. Like the green screen. the green screen in the ship is I could do better green screen with my setup, and I'm Poe as fuck. You know what I mean?
My setup is right now.
Yeah, Alex has better green screen than inside the cockpit of the spaceship in this movie.
And I'm just running regular light right now.
Yeah, he doesn't have studio lighting or expensive cameras. He's got a fucking webcam and a green screen that has light pollution during the day. Like, it shouldn't be that way, but anyways, everything but the cockpit views are great. You're right, the cockpit views are very Spaceballs. Like Lone Star should be piloting it. That's why it's so zany. This is a big production. These are hundreds of people. And it's like, just filming. These are hundreds of extras. Because this was more before the days of CG where you could just multiply as many as you wanted.
Yeah. There's a $105 million estimated budget.
That's a big budget for fucking 97.
Estimated 105 million.
And it flopped, right?
It did. It made 115 or something like that.
Oh, that sucks. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, this is whatever the studio lot they're filming on. You're talking about hundreds of people on set right now. Either way you go, it's a big production. I still think the CG, while dated, it isn't terrible.
No, not
I'm
even
digging
compared
it.
to what I'm looking at. I see a bunch of helmets, and then the background. Is the
Yeah,
bugs.
they're
Looks
blending
pretty
it
good.
fairly decently. I mean, but once again, at $105 million, it should be as top notch as it can.
For the day.
Yeah, I mean, Independence Day came out when, 96? It was within that realm. So maybe 95. So, you know, here we go. This is really where the movie kind of stops being about love triangles and about now being about war. So once again, we're hitting my favorite parts of it. Let's go.
Okay, I got something to say here. Did you see their first arachnid they got to?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see how high their guns were pointing that they were shooting at?
Yeah, I noticed
I
that
guess
too.
They thought it was going to be a lot bigger than what it was.
Or when they filmed it, they presumed a certain perspective.
Yeah.
And then in post, they realized, oh shit, we filmed it at the wrong angle, or we thought they were going to be bigger. Yeah.
Also, their disregard for fucking shooting nukes that close to each other.
They're contained nukes.
Yeah, it blew right over their fucking head. Yeah.
Totally safe.
They're all going to have children. They're all going to have children after this. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they'll be circus freaks.
And I love how right before they landed, the sergeant's like, "Remember your training."
Remember your
Nobody went for
training.
the limbs first.
Remember, nobody would. They're just shooting the shell,
Well, no, they said to aim for their
the nerve
endings, but they said if you take out their limbs, there's 86% chance that they're still going to come after you.
Remember your training, and you will survive. Okay, asshole. Sure thing.
All right, ready?
Yep.
You want some? Get some! Yeah! Oh my god!
All right, did you guys finish the battle scene?
Can we give it to the cameraman?
Right?
Who stayed there?
Holy shit.
I know.
I do find this movie interesting because it kind of does a lot of the opposites of what your standard action movie would do.
Mhm.
Instead of killing off extras, it literally kills off every secondary character that's been in the movie so far besides, like, Jake Busey.
Yeah.
It's an interesting way to do
Who
it. 'cause
deservedly should have died in this one.
yeah, like they wipe out like all of this, the Spanish dude, the chick who wanted to have kids, the grunt dude, like everybody who got the tattoo except for Busey, and even Rico bites it. That's an interesting thing to do. Because it's not the end of the movie, so it's like, and we all know how it wraps up, but like, if you're watching this in the theaters for the first time, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
They just
this is
killed the
a
entire
strange point.
Like, the only main cast left is who? Diz, and Denise Richards is presumed dead. I don't know. I love this movie. Let's continue.
There he is. Wake him up.
Hey, Johnny! Hey!
Hey, Rico!
Hey, Johnny!
Hey, Rico!
Wake up!
Yo, fish boy! Hey, look! You're dead!
Killed in action!
So I love, real quick, where they just come up to him and they're like, "Yeah, you're dead, bud.
You're killed in
You're
action."
dead."
Well, not only that, but they like wake him up and they're like, yeah, no, you got 3 more days in there.
You got
but,
3 more
know.
days. Just stay there.
Like
Also,
he's
that
healing.
mouthpiece, I wouldn't trust it because if I'm fucking sleeping, I snore.
Well, how do you also not ever breathe through your nose? Like I'm a nose breather.
It's the future, man.
Yeah, that's right. We
In
have
the
full
future,
control.
we don't need noses.
They were trained
right.
differently. Remember your training. Remember your training.
I forgot the Gil's evolution bracket of.
Remember your fucking training, dude.
Yeah, you'll survive. Just remember your training.
You're not going to survive the future.
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Also, the scene where all the ships are all fucked up and damaged and everything kind of reminds me of Battlestar Galactica in a way that they weren't actually able to repair their own ships from all the damage they took. But these guys are all like parked on top of like the station that they're supposed to be rebuilding at. Shit's blowing up in the station, like while they're docked.
Yeah, their ship the Spaceball ship got really damaged as well.
Yeah. The fucking giant penises.
But they're alive miraculously, even though flames were in the cockpit somehow.
Well, she did have a cut on her eye.
Oh, what? That's right.
Dude,
the little gash.
She took a fireball to the face.
Hey man, she took damage.
She's got that. What did Forrest Gump call it? The $1 million wound.
Sure. Something bit me.
Something bit me.
All right, let's jump back in. All right. I just finished where they just bombed the aliens.
Carpet bomb, yeah.
I do find it funny that like the initial brush up with the arachnids, and from then on it's like no, we're gonna air bomb them first, and then we'll go in. Also, awesome the fact that his favorite high school teacher, who kind of helped with the decision of maybe enlisting a little bit, along with Jose, and he's Michael Ironside's. Not only is he now commanding officer of him, but he's like commanding officer of the badasses.
The Roughnecks.
Yeah, it's the Roughnecks. It's not even just troopers, it's fucking Roughnecks. I find that funny. He's got his sight. I also find it interesting that he didn't wear the hand in civilian life or citizen life, whatever.
As a teacher, he didn't have it. He just gave everybody a thumbs up.
Yeah, he chose not to wear it. I find that interesting. Maybe the man I am today.
Is anybody at the circle scene or past it?
Yeah, how fucking stupid.
I just got to it.
There's something called crossfire.
Yeah.
That's why you don't put the enemy in a circle or in the center of a circle you are forming?
Yeah. You and your team do not form a circle. Maybe angles?
Hey, no, you guys go over there
circle.
and shoot in my direction. I'm going to come over here and shoot in your direction, but towards the bugs.
Regardless if they're shooting up a little bit or not, there's still a possibility of ricochet on anything.
How fucking stupid. The whole formation was stupid.
Even before that, the scene where if you find a hole, nuke it. Nobody double-checked if anybody was above the hole, on the ground beyond the hole.
They also never seem to look at the back blast of the actual rocket launcher either.
And you also see it bubbling not bubbling, but the effects coming towards them.
Which I always like those effects in movies. I think they're cool.
When the ground starts to ripple.
Broken Arrow has a scene like that. Like,
damn,
that was kind of a big thing in some of the night. Like Dante's Peak, I think, has a scene like that. Dante's Peak's an awesome movie. I don't know if you've seen it.
That's the volcano one, right?
Yeah, in a long time. Jen and I watched it recently. That movie's the shit, dude.
Is it the one where at the end where he goes, "Look, mommy, everybody looks the same," when everybody's covered in volcanic ash?
Oh,
the little boy
remember
says
that. Maybe I zoned out at that part if it's in there. I don't think so, though.
Are you sure that's not the movie Volcano?
There was a movie called Volcano too?
Yeah, there's Tommy Lee Jones was in Volcano.
I think that's from Volcano.
Also, Volcano, I believe, was rated R, while Dante's Peak was PG-13. Yeah, I haven't seen Volcano in a long time. Was it gruesome? I don't even remember.
I want to watch them both now because I don't remember which one it was.
Dante's Peak I really liked. I gotta look in to see if Volcano's streaming anywhere because I'd watch that.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
I haven't seen it in so long. I remember it's Dante's Peak, but I don't remember Volcano. I mean, I remember it, but I didn't,
Which one was it where they used the Hard Rock Cafe buildings to stop the
Volcano.
volcano? It was the movie Volcano.
Volcano
Okay.
was in Vegas and LA, I think,
and Chicago.
And Dante's Peak was at Dante's Peak in I think Colorado or one of them.
So then Volcano was also in Chicago too, because that's where the Hard Rock Cafe buildings, the two circle buildings that is downtown here.
Maybe like I said, I'd have to watch it
supposedly they knocked both of those down to stop the volcano from going through.
Oh, that'll work.
Yeah,
because
volcano movies.
Volcano's not going to pass through glass and light steel, cement, like
rebar,
whatever. All right, let's jump in.
Where'd you learn how to do that, soldier?
Back in school, sir. Don't you remember? I was captain of the team.
Rico.
Sir.
I need a corporal. You're it until you're dead, or till I find somebody better.
Thank you, sir.
All right, saddle up.
Way to go, Corporal.
I need a squad leader.
Oh, no. No, I've been there and blew it. I'm just here to fight.
What about it, Diz?
The bugs have different color blood.
All right, real quick. He's known Dis, and he's essentially made up with her.
Yeah.
And he didn't choose her first.
Well, she's a woman.
But clearly she's more of a badass.
Yeah.
With the exception of this moment than he is. Like,
yeah,
clearly more capable of the job than he.
Do you think he was just being nice because he wants to go career? Like, is that the whole like? Yeah, what is the thought process behind that?
It could be, but
I think it's just sexism.
Yeah, I think that's what it was too. Because when he tells her, he goes, "Hey, Diz." Like he says it all calm and nice.
Since all of the other people that we know are dead, would you like to be the person then? Because I'd have chosen anybody but you. Fucking shithead.
And clearly, I avoided you most of my time.
Believe me, I will take the one-handed black chick before you if she would want it. But
I'll even pick the ferret.
Right.
And she was technically higher ranked than them up until the point she lost her arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a corporal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even what's his name should have been next up for the promotion. The guy who plays in Walking Dead, the black dude, bald head. I don't know what his character's called in this.
Oh, the one with the hook for a necklace.
Is that what it was? The one that punched him, or no? Did he punch? No, she did.
She
no, she did.
He
was Seth Gillum. Yeah, he was Sugar Watkins. But yeah, it's the guy from Walking Dead. Yeah, but he should have been next in line even before either one of them.
Theoretically, you would assume.
Yeah, because they've been on the team longer. And
yeah.
He was the one. He was the one that told him you get the nuke out right when he shot the nuke in the hole.
Yeah, he was the squad leader.
It took me a second to fucking backtrack to where he was.
Yeah, he was the squad leader.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's jump back in.
Rico, you once asked me for advice. Want some now?
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant, HQ's on the com.
Never pass up a good thing.
All right, just real quick. Wouldn't this technically be some sort of conflict of interest considering he just made her his squad leader?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, this would technically be frowned upon in the military too, especially if you're part of the same squad.
He is listening to his commander.
I mean, yeah, that is, and it's wartime. And maybe since they figured it's all co-ed, that fucking's just gonna happen anyways.
Yeah, and they finally accepted it. Maybe and they've all been exposed to enough nukes that they're not going to get pregnant.
Yeah, everybody at this point.
It's true.
Yeah, is basically sterile.
All
valid points.
The actor playing the violin, I was forgetting his name. Why does he look creepy in every fucking scene he's in?
Because he's Gary Busey's kid. He's got the horse face.
Every fucking
he goes by with his glow in the dark fucking.
I know, like it's so disturbing.
It was almost as creepy as Neil Patrick Harris when he wanted to dance with her at the beginning.
I'd still rather dance with Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's jump in. Gotta love that. He's like, don't pass up a chance to fuck her.
Uh-huh.
And then he interrupts their fucking, and then he's like, you've got double the time, soldier.
First he's like, yeah, be ready in 10. Make that 20.
Like, he seems like the type of dude that would be like, if you can't finish a good fucking 20 minutes, you're inefficient. You know?
And Rico's like, I got 5. We got 15 minutes to
He's
talk.
like, we'll be able, in fact, I say we got 5 minutes, cuddle, another 5, more 5 cuddle. I can go 2 and 20. He's over there like, I can do this. All right, let's jump back in.
Rico! Moving out. There's been a distress call from General Owen on Planet B, so get your shit wired and report in 10 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Who's that with you?
Florence, sir.
Make it 20 minutes.
So he's just gaining rank by default.
Killing his members off.
Not even. It's like, yeah, it's basically like Michael Ironside's like confidants are getting killed by one by one, and he's like, the only one I actually know anymore is you.
Yeah. So you're moving up again.
Guess
He's
what?
the Goggins in this movie. That's what it is.
Yeah.
What's that?
He's the Goggins in this movie.
Yeah. Congratulations.
This is fucking crazy. And they fly now.
Yep.
I will say, I will give credit to this movie. It introduced a new alien as we've gone through the movie.
Well, it's not done either.
I know. Yeah, that's pretty badass.
What is it? Evolution with David Duchovny and
yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Oh no,
Really?
then we should definitely do this with
It's
that
a good movie.
Oh.
I fucking love that because it's fucking funny and serious and funny and stupid. It's got everything.
Yeah, it had Orlando Jones in it.
Yeah.
Never
All
saw
right,
it.
when you guys are ready.
Let's do it.
Officer on the deck!
Pick up the general.
Going to the safe! We've got to get out of here!
General!
Sir!
Thank God for you. All of you. You're all gonna be heroes. Every last one of you.
Close that hole.
Sir.
I had to evade capture. The security of the Federation was at stake.
All right. So it's just kind of funny that not only is that dude a fucking general on top of all this, but it's Quado from Total Recall.
Open your mind's eye.
We're gonna die. We're all gonna die. This is the way he fucking went out and started screaming it.
Wait.
Not the way a general should act, by the way.
I missed it. Did he fucking punch him with the metal hand or the regular hand?
No, he hit him with the regular hand. He hit him with his right hand. Yeah.
It would have been fucking
Fucking
better
just
if
murdered him with it. It has superpower to it.
Because it would have been funny if they would have made it more comic, where he like left his feet and shit as his feet were in the air.
I will say it was really campy when he was like, they sucked his brains out. Like, it was almost like 60s sci-fi.
Oh my god.
When Michael Ironside said it,
Yeah, let's jump in.
You stop for a second. Did anybody see the decapitations at all yet, or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell of a beheading on that one. Fuck.
All right. So before all that, these guys are fucking trained Marines and stuff like that. Infantry. Their gun discipline is all over the place. Instead of focusing on targets, they're fucking just going in circles and constantly. And then the guy with the fucking turrets, he's fucking shaking in circles.
Well, the idea is spray and pray because there's so many.
Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't you even do that in a straight line instead of circling like up and down? And also,
well, the big gunner was going that direction because he was trying to shoot downward because they were getting closer.
yeah, and then when they saw the bugs coming in flying, they started pointing up, but they were like, like really fast.
You're
like,
also talking about pretty early usage of yes, they're this tall, fire that way.
Yeah,
because it's all phony baloney green screen, you know.
Yeah,
it's all CG.
And you could see that too when they're all lining up in the top, saying, "There's bugs coming in." Everybody's pointing up.
Yeah, I think.
And then there's only like 2 or 3 pointing down.
Well, like even if when I'm paused at, there's 4 people aiming up at the flying ones, and literally one is just aiming up to the left.
Yeah,
he's aiming at nothing,
and he's the second to the last guy aiming to the left. The other ones are pointing this way still.
Yeah, like the other, like one of them's even pointing more this way, just completely not shooting at him.
You and I are in the exact same spot.
And then you got the other 2 dudes that are like shooting clouds for some reason to the left.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I just wish that they finally, I don't know, because this movie is good. If they would have had that whole gun discipline thing back then,
well, I would have loved
100% better.
I'd love to see the behind the scenes to see exactly like
how they did it
when they filmed it, because like clearly there was a difference between the
what
weight,
size
the scale of the CG they were using to where they thought the film was going to be. It's almost like they filmed it, and then when they did the CG, they were like, I don't know about that. Now, they could have done differently and just, like, put the creatures in sight of the dudes with the guns, though. It's all fucking CG, right? Like, it's all fake. You could have just moved the creatures over to the goddamn left. So there's really no excuse for it.
No.
Yes.
Not at all.
Something happened where they had some new guys, and they said, well, if we make it bigger, sir, we're going to have pixels.
Like, was it a thing of, like, well, we've already filmed it, and we've already got him to the right, so you know what I mean? Like, we've already done that animation cycle. If we re-render it, it's another 48 hours of rendering, and it's going to cost $300,000.
We showed them the tennis ball where they're supposed to be shooting, and the guy that was aiming was cross-eyed.
Right.
So, so I don't know what to fucking do.
Well, I remember one of the first movies where they really explored the idea of like the tennis ball was I Am Legend. Yeah. And I watched the behind the scenes where they showed it. Before that, and I Am Legend was like 08.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like it's 97 jank.
They could have at least photoshopped this guy on the left and just turned him a little more.
Well, it's in the something. Well, the problem is it's filmed, so you can't do. You know, like literally, all you gotta do is move the creatures over on the screen.
Yeah.
But once again,
or at least add more.
It's almost like they did the post production with the idea of like we'll just pop it all together, and they did CG, and then like when they got it together, they were like, "Well, shit, this just doesn't. This looks a bit off, doesn't it?"
We're just gonna fucking go with it. They could have added more fucking flying guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
more bugs. Yeah,
simply added more of them. Exactly.
Yeah, and the way they
worst case scenario, add a bug crawling up the top in front of the other 2 on the left.
Yeah, there you go.
And that solves the whole thing.
And another thing too is we've already seen that the bugs, even though they're a hive mind, they kind of still fight each other. They snap at each other.
Yeah.
So with that happening, when the guys are actually pointing higher than the others, they could have been shooting at the ones that were on top of the other bugs, like trying to fight them. You know what I mean? Like they could have did something stupid like that.
It doesn't. Well, the problem is it doesn't seem like they're aiming at all. They're just kind of like they're in front of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I imagine that's the direction. Yeah.
And that's the problem with the gun handling in this movie entirely. Is like there is no aiming. It's just like they're in front of us.
Yeah, I'm pointing at you over here, and my camera's right here.
Yeah, they're gonna be directly in front of you. Point your gun. Like, I feel like there should have been somebody on set that like measured what degree the gun angles were at.
Yeah,
but that position just was not there.
And that's the thing about these old movies is they didn't really care much about that back then. They just wanted to get the scene shot and be done with it. But I think it would have made this a lot more believable, I guess you would say.
Well, I'm going to assume at some point they presumed the creatures were going to be bigger, maybe.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Maybe they had them larger at one point, like you said, which would maybe make sense to why they're aiming up a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, it's just could be one of those things too.
Or they put the wrong creature in here when it should have been one of the spitters. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
you never know. Like I said, they could have added some shit in here that wouldn't have cost very much and would have made it make more sense. Though it was just this is just kind of like shoddy in a little bit of ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
When are you guys ready?
Let's do it. All right. So I'm at the bug is really just starting to emerge after he shot
Rico? Sergeant
Sam
whatever.
Fisher. Are we all there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is interesting how Diz looks at like when he shoots him, she looks like holy fuck he just did that.
Yeah.
Like they really do by the end of this movie make Rico the soldier, the trooper, the roughneck, whatever you want to consider him. Immediately does what needs to be done.
But I also feel Diz and nobody else understands the dynamic that Rico has with that
how
teacher.
hard that was. His
Yeah.
favorite teacher, an influence, a mentor in some ways. Yeah, she understands exactly what it was for him to have to shoot him.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that look of like, oh fuck, he just did it. Like, oh man, he, you know, that kind of like, you are the leader type thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. He's a career, and he didn't know it.
Yeah, doesn't even know it.
That fire scene is super iconic for me for this movie.
Yeah.
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 That's like every time I think of Super Troopers or Starship Troopers, this is the exact scene I think about every time.
I mean, you know, the guy, Paul Verhoeven always has a good soundtrack.
You got a vacuum going, Glenn?
Yeah, you got an air conditioner going or something?
The AC, the fan is on from the AC, but that's really about it.
The mic's picking up for some reason.
It's picking up really loud. Yeah.
But like, have you guys noticed the soundtrack in this movie? Just how, like, when it kicks in at the beginning of this scene, it just goes full bore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it goes real epic. Like, that is one thing about this movie is, despite some of the CG issues and everything, some of these big action scenes are quite epic and awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I love this fucking movie for scenes like this, and it's such a gruesome goddamn movie. And we just watched Diz get wiped out. Literally the only one he has any connection with at this point.
Also, he does the number one thing you don't do in the field is pull something out of a fucking body.
You know, I was thinking the same thing because I've always heard like when you get stabbed, leave it in until you get to the hospital. Like if there's something protruding inside of you,
never pull it out because you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Like that was the first thing I thought of was like you do realize that was going through her entire abdomen, right? Like that's a hole now.
Which also, I'm gonna say, if she lives or dies right now, because we saw her get stabbed, whether she lives or dies, it's his fault.
I don't agree with that. I think it's her fault.
Well, I know, but I'm saying, like, if she had a chance of living,
no,
she shouldn't have celebrated. And when she backed
Yeah.
up, her back should have stayed
To that.
towards the vehicle.
you should have just turned your head and
and
kept going.
kept
I
her
would-
eyes on the field.
I would argue I don't think she had much chance of living either way after she got protruded by 7 different legs.
I know,
true.
but I'm just saying, you know, for the sake of
She should have had better surround. He tried to warn her, but she's too worried about scoring the basket. And great grenade throw. I hope it was worth your life. Hope the celebrating was enjoyable.
The lieutenant before he died said, or not the lieutenant, Rico told her, make them count.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I hope
she
he
did.
did her twice before they took off because that was the last bang you're getting out of old. The first and last bang you're getting out of old
They did have
Diz.
20 minutes. They did have 20 minutes, so.
It's okay. Rico's a 2-pump chump, but he can reload real fast, so they got a few out of it.
All those years of pent up frustration.
Yeah, he's like, she would only let me do anal, referring to Denise Richards. She's like, really? And Diz is like, I'll let you do it, but my other one's nicer. He's like, I'll take your word for it. Let's go.
If that's what you like, but we could try the other way.
She's like, I would prefer not, especially in the middle of war, but if you really want it, because I do love you. He's a total simp for Rico.
Oh, boy.
All right, let's continue. Wait a second. You mean to tell me that if I'm in my spaceship in the middle of space. I gotta worry about flying metal caskets in the middle of fucking outer space.
I was gonna ask you guys that. I was just giving it a second to catch up. Where was the body going?
Like, you mean to tell me that's not going to be a problem for some spaceship that's just like, what's that? Oh, and then crash?
At least when Star Trek did it, they actually launched him to a planet. When Spock died, they launched him to a planet.
This is just like out in the fucking ether. Some spaceship like a year from now is going to run into it and their entire ship's going to blow up because Diz was buried in space.
They could have at least launched her into like a dwarf star or something that would have burned up,
or a black hole. I don't know.
Or a sun.
Like here you go. You're out in space now. Diz is gonna be floaty.
Did anybody see Neil Patrick Harris yet?
No. You're ahead again.
All right, catch up for a second, and I want to ask a question. As soon as you see him.
Officer on deck.
Carry on.
Yeah, the Nazi leader has arrived.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a very much Nazi-esque. It's almost like the Gestapo occultist uniform.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it really
Red Skull's right behind
also,
them.
They're indoors. They're indoor. What purpose does the fucking trench coats serve?
Because it looks
cold.
Badass and it is cold in space.
I imagine they can't have heaters on in space because in a lot of movies I see talks about like ACs, circular systems, but not heaters.
Okay, I got you on that. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There is a weird Nazi element to that uniform.
Yeah,
it's disturbing.
Which I'm going to assume was done on purpose to equate to like the Nazi occult science shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going back to what Giovanni said about being cold in space, I get it now. Thinking back to all these previous shows, they're always wearing sweaters. Matrix, they're wearing sweaters when they're like in the ships.
Well, I think
that's not really space, but at least it's underground.
I think Firefly basically, when the engine goes down, does talk about it powering the heating system and cooling and everything.
Yeah. Objects. I think that was objects. No, that wasn't objects.
It was the one where you learn about Katie, the engineer, because she's the one who ends up being the one working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think he. Well, isn't that the whole episode where they also start losing oxygen?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the one where the engine goes down and they all start dying because they're losing oxygen, and it controls all the systems. So you would assume it's one of the best, in my opinion, sci-fi shows ever, even though it was only a season. Yeah. You would assume within the air circulation systems. I mean, those do look to be vents in the image I'm looking at, staring out the window. So like, you would assume within the air circulation system, heating, cooling, that all goes with it. With that said, it'd be probably mostly heating because it's dead cold in space.
Yeah, if they're able to create gravity, they should be able to create heat.
Exactly. Like, heat is probably the last thing they need to worry about compared to gravity and life support and electricity.
So I'll go back to my question. Why is he wearing a trench fucking coat?
Because it looks cool.
It does look cool.
You don't get the option to wear an SS uniform and not wear it. Let's jump in.
More. And every day I have to make decisions that send hundreds of people like you to their deaths.
Didn't they tell you, Colonel? That's what the mobile infantry's good for.
I hope you're ready for more. We're going back to P. To capture that brain.
The roughnecks are always ready, sir.
I hear they need a new lieutenant. Want the job?
I'll take it. Till I get killed or you find someone better.
So wait. I'm just assuming at this point then that once you get the SS outfit, you are at that point so powerful that you can field promote people.
Yes.
Like, he didn't have to talk to anybody. He's like, guess what, motherfucker, you're lieutenant. Like, he's all just angry for no reason. You can see
also psychic.
Yeah, he hasn't slept though. You can see his eyes are dark. Like, he's clearly just like, no, you're lieutenant, asshole.
He still looks 12.
This is the best part. In the beginning of this movie, Rico thought about the privilege he had, the money he came from, and it's funny because it's all paying off.
Yeah.
friends in high places.
Well,
yeah, no
promoted.
shit. Talk
also-
about fucking whatchamacallit, nepotism, huh?
And also, he can't go back home because his money's not there anymore.
I'm assuming his parents, he'll still have that, like they had a will or whatnot, but like, or does it go back to the Federation? Who the fuck knows
true,
in this
yeah.
in this reality?
If all the paperwork blows up, who knows what he had?
I don't know.
I mean, they still think he's killed in action.
Theoretically, but I mean, he's clearly alive, and he's now lieutenant. Let's continue.
Jesus.
All right, like, why'd they have to do her like that?
I know that was kind of messed up.
You couldn't even die by a fucking bug. You gotta fucking
Right. Oh, I do also want to point out that when the door comes down on her, you could clearly tell she's standing in a waist tall pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cheesy. It was like I remember in the movie Sphere how that was realistic when the door closed on him. This is the opposite. Just 100%.
Also, when they're running through the hall and they start like going through and there's explosions, they're actually fucking like on roller skates or something, man. What
For
the fuck?
real.
Because they weren't even moving their feet. They were just
They were sliding.
Not only that,
fast,
but
yeah.
the stunt double who plays the commander who gets killed took sparks right to the face when they first were coming through. All right, let's jump in.
They're fucking blowing up all their vibrators.
Oh no.
Tough choices.
Yeah, let's pause for here real quick. Yeah, I mean, it does show that, like, even though he's the most immature kind of dipshit out of all of them in the beginning, he's the best soldier of them, at the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, he's,
Also, the other guy's not going to play football anymore.
yeah, I think his athlete career might be a little over.
Just saying.
No more
years.
No more of those bouncy hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already 35. That career is way cut down.
His XFL career is done.
Yep. Well, maybe with The Rock, he might revitalize it. We'll see. Jumping in.
We should go this way.
A company's that way.
Yeah. But Carmen's down there.
Yeah, I hate to be rude, buddy. Word has it she's dead.
She's still alive.
How do you know?
I don't know how I know, but I know.
Okay, Neo.
Wait, how does he just flip-flop so hard, though?
Yeah, it's like a Neo fucking, I don't know why I have to be here, but I have to.
Well, he goes
I
from,
think-
like, we both know she's dead to, like, I
Uh-huh.
can feel her presence.
I think it was calls back to the beginning of the movie where he was trying to be
telepathic.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
he is telepathic and he's finally feeling it. It's telepathy of love.
Yeah. He's finding out that he's the one.
He's gonna fly it.
You gonna
And
tell
then
me I
he's
can
not gonna run
dodge
it.
bullets?
You're gonna start hearing Rage Against the Machine or these guys.
Wouldn't it be great if there's just that scene where he's like talking to Neil Patrick Harris? He's just like, "You mean to tell me I could dodge bullets?" And Neil Patrick Harris is like, "I'm telling you, when the time comes, you won't need to."
Yeah, that's right. Neil Patrick Harris was in fucking.
Oh no! Jumping
Oh,
back
my
in, jumping
goodness.
back in. Nope. All right, stop right here. Right before the vagina monster gets.
I was about to say a vagina monster. Yeah.
Beyond it looking like a vajayjay.
Kind of looks like a moth.
What the fuck kind of knife is that for military usage? Who the fuck thinks a solid stainless steel with no grip blade is gonna work well when bug goo and liquid is on it? That'll slip right through your fucking hand.
It's got finger holes that won't make any use unless you're gripping something.
It's literally like they took a knife and didn't put a grip on it. Like
Well, if you put your fingers in the holes, it has a grip. But if you're using it,
no, it doesn't. You
throw.
You can't use a knife like that. There's a certain, you're gonna break your fingers if they fit in that. You gotta remember, if your fingers are in it and you stab into something, any turn you're going with it. Even that application makes no fucking sense. Like literally the worst type of knife. It looks like a large throwing knife.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a throwing knife, and they just made it larger.
Terrible.
And the way I just finished, the vagina monster's actually got a pee-pee coming out. And it's
yeah,
well,
we're not there yet, okay? Somehow you are always fucking 5 seconds ahead. So maybe
I
maybe when
count,
we say pause, you pause it on time.
I even count 6 seconds before I start.
It's because I don't know what your deal is. You're bullshitting. You're trying to look at the vagina pee-pee monster early. All right, pause. So, I'm going to try to show as much of that as I can.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, which part did you pause at?
I'm paused at right after she cut off the pee-pee from the vajayjay. By the way, it also seems to have a ball sack below it.
Yeah.
How many different
so we're
fucking
at the
forms
same
of
spot.
genitalia does this creature have on it?
No
For
shit.
fuck's sake. It's got everything.
It's got 8 eyes, a pee-pee that comes out of its vagina,
A ball sack.
and a balls.
And, like, talon things. So I'm going to try to show as much as possible. But the pee-pee comes out and not only takes the brain, but sucks it out like it's a Hoover vacuum cleaning up like the back seat of a minivan.
I was thinking the same thing.
I know it's bad.
And of course, he gets off a line where, one day somebody who looks like me is going to kill you and your own fucking race. And then he turns into fucking... Also, I do find it interesting that, they suck their brain out and somehow the soul goes with it.
Yeah.
Like he just got possessed by a ghost and his soul sucked out by Shang Tsung is where the
Shang
fucking...
Tsung, yeah.
The way the
He's sucking
body
out their
looks.
soul.
It's weird.
They lose pigment coloration right away from their brain.
Yeah, it's weird choices they made with some of the design in this movie of just like, no, but you don't understand. The brain gives it all the color. It's like that doesn't know how that works, but okay.
The gray matter.
Yeah.
Colors the body.
Whatever.
What?
Let's jump back in.
Private, sir.
Carry on, Private.
Yes, sir.
What mysteries will the brain bug reveal? Federal scientists are working around the clock to probe its secrets. Once we understand the bug, we will defeat it.
Okay, stop for a sec. Did you get to the censored part?
Yeah, why'd you just wait till it was over? There's like 2 minutes left.
Well, for me, it's got like 11 minutes left.
There's credits. It'll be over in like 2 minutes. I do find it funny how we're supposed to be the more advanced species.
Yeah.
The first thing we do is essentially violently torture and prod the fucking creature.
Yeah.
Also, how I love how what's her face has apparently superhuman powers because taking a giant claw through her body didn't phase her at all at the end.
And every time she was Denise Richards, she's got that tiger blood from Charlie Sheen in her.
Well, every time she was shooting and everything, she was making these faces. Look, oh god, it was worse than fucking vampires.
Oh god, I'm not gonna have that argument with you again. All right, let's finish it. We only got a couple minutes.
All right.
I just want to point out that this movie has 10 minutes of credits.
Yeah, I finished and I was like, holy shit.
That's it.
So
yeah.
There's nothing hidden after this.
No, this is before the age of post movie credit scene. Really. Yeah, that's Starship Troopers. I'm gonna give it a 5. I love this.
No, this is an easy 5. Easy 5.
Of course it is. It is a 5.
This movie was incredible. The stupid censorship where it didn't need to be the overzealous characters in here and the overblown attitudes. Like it's perfectly done. It's a riot. It's a fun riot.
It's a great action sci-fi. It's campy. The acting's not great. I will say Paul Verhoeven knows how to put a soundtrack to a movie, though.
He does. Yeah.
Like, every time the shooting really kicked in, you got that RoboCop soundtrack. That real kind of like dark, like deep synth orchestrated. I love hitting the soundtrack. See, whoever, I gotta figure out who the composer is because it's brilliant. Yeah, 5 for me, Alex.
Yeah, 5 for me. I love this movie.
I
5
do
as
too.
well. So this is a solid 15.
Yes,
there's 3 of us
out of 700.
Very first time I saw this movie, I did not like it. You know what I mean? Like I loved it when I first saw it.
And I think because it did so horribly, it's really one of those movies that's a quote unquote cult following.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it spawned 2 sequels, one and then an animated. The animated's okay. The sequels are garbage.
Yeah, the sequels are not good.
It's kind of sad though because RoboCop came up before this.
Oh yeah,
and RoboCop is in the same vein where they used comedy, they used action, they used drama, all in it.
It was also a dark. It had that dark tone as well. RoboCop.
Yeah, this one just didn't use the drama version of it.
Well,
they kept it more campy.
Well, look at Hollow Man, which he directed as well. That had comedy, that had drama, that had romance, that had action. I mean, that's what I really wish Verhoeven was still doing movies because he's one of my favorite old school directors.
Yeah.
I really do like his shit. All right, let's wrap this up. I hope everybody enjoyed this. I had fun doing it.
I did too. I like this this new setting we have.
Yeah, the idea isn't the status. This isn't going to be the everyday podcast, but depending on even if Giovanni's up for it and Alex is not, I mean, I don't know, once, twice a month. I mean, once a month maybe. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I think we could do once a month.
We take like a week off of the podcast and just do this.
Yeah, solid. But these would have to be like either newer movies, which
this one was fun because we were able to rip on it, and it's one we all enjoy. But I do agree. I think the general idea going forward would be something we probably haven't seen, or haven't seen in so long we don't remember any of it. Type thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us for something a little bit different. Hopefully, we'll be pumping more of these out. I am behind on the actual podcast episodes, but I am getting those edited. They take time. It's just time for rendering and uploading.
When do you think this one would be out of?
I'm going to work on this weekend. This will be out early next week.
Okay. So we can say Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, Happy Father's Day. It will be probably Monday, the day after. So hopefully you had a wonderful Father's Day, all you fathers, and
or hopefully you had a Happy Father's Day.
Or as the media considers you pieces of shit.
Thanks.
Everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you for watching.